I still remember the day everything broke. My name was called over the speaker, and I knew something was wrong. When I walked into Mr. Collins's office, he didn't even ask me to sit. "I'm sorry, but due to unpaid fees, you are being expelled." I stared at him. "I just need time," I said. "I can pay it soon." He shook his head. "Rules are rules. You've had multiple notices." "I didn't ignore them," I said. "I just didn't have the money." He sighed. "That's not the college's problem." "I worked nights," I said. "I skipped meals. I'm trying." He looked away. "You should have planned better." Those words cut deep. I stood up slowly. "So that's it?" "Yes." "No second chance?" "No." I felt my chest tighten. I nodded even though I didn't want to. "All right," I whispered. I walked out without looking back. Outside, everything felt louder. Students laughed, talked, lived. I felt like I didn't belong anymore. Jake saw me packing later. "Hey, what's going on?" he asked. "I'm leaving," I said. "Leaving where?" "I don't know." "That's not funny," he said. "I'm not joking." "What happened?" "I got expelled." He went silent. "For what?" "For being poor," I said. "That's messed up," he said. "Yeah," I replied. "I'll figure something out." "You can stay here," he said. "Not for long." I zipped my bag. That evening I called Emma. "Can we meet?" I asked. "Sure," she said. We met at our usual spot. She smiled, but it felt different. "What's wrong?" she asked. "I got expelled," I said. She froze. "What?" "I couldn't pay the fees." I tried. She looked away. "That's serious," she said. "I know," I replied. "I need you right now." She stayed quiet. "Emma," I said. "I don't know if I can handle this," she said. "What do you mean?" I asked. "It's too much. I thought you'd stand by me." "I can't deal with this right now," she said. Those words crushed me. "So you're leaving?" I asked. "I just need space." "Now?" She didn't answer. "I needed you," I said. "I know," she whispered. "But I can't." I nodded slowly. "Okay," I said. I turned and walked away. "Wait," she called. I didn't stop. "Please," she said. I kept walking. That night, the streets felt empty. I sat on a bench and stared ahead. "Why me?" I whispered. No one answered. I laughed bitterly. I lost everything in one day. I looked at my phone. No messages. No calls. Just silence. "I'll survive," I said. "I have to." But deep down I felt broken. I closed my eyes. And for the first time I felt completely alone. I leaned back and took a long breath. "Get up," I told myself. "No one is coming." I stood and started walking again. My bag felt heavier than before. Maybe it was not the weight. Maybe it was everything inside me. I stopped under a streetlight. "I won't beg," I said. "I won't break." My voice shook anyway. I pulled out my phone and typed, "Emma, are you sure?" I stared at the screen. Then I deleted it. "No," I said. "I'm done asking." I put the phone away. A car passed by, splashing water near my shoes. "Great," I muttered. I started laughing again, this time louder. "Expelled, broke, and dumped," I said. "Nice life." I shook my head. "No," I said firmly. "This is not the end." I looked up at the dark sky. "You hear me?" I said. "I'm not done." My chest hurt, but something burned inside me. Maybe anger, maybe pain, maybe both. I started walking faster. "I'll fix this," I said. "I don't know how, but I will." I passed by a group of students laughing. I looked away. "That was me," I whispered. "Not anymore." I kept moving, step by step. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew one thing. "I won't let this break me," I said. "And one day, they'll regret this." I clenched my fists. Every single one of them. The night stayed silent. But inside me, something had already changed. I slowed down near an empty road. "I'm scared," I admitted. "But I'll keep going." I wiped my face. No more tears. No more waiting for people. I took a deep breath. I only have myself now, and that has to be enough. I looked ahead again. Tomorrow starts now, I said. I walked into the dark without stopping. I'll survive this, I whispered. No matter what it takes. I didn't look back again. I kept walking until the lights faded behind me. Goodbye, I said quietly. Everything I had. Everything I lost. Everything that made me weak. I'll build something stronger, I promised myself tonight. Right now. I stopped going outside. Days felt the same. Nights felt longer. I lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling, holding my phone like it might suddenly come back to life. Maybe she'll text, I whispered. Nothing. I unlocked it again. No messages. No missed calls. I laughed quietly. Of course. Jake knocked on the door. You alive in there? Yeah, I said. You sure? Yeah. He walked in anyway. You've been like this for days, he said. I'm fine. You don't look fine. I said I'm fine. He sat down across from me. Talk to me. There's nothing to say. You got kicked out, your girlfriend left, and you say there's nothing to say? I stayed quiet. Come on, he said. Say something. What do you want me to say? I asked. That I feel like trash? That's a start. I looked away. I keep thinking about it. About what? Her, I said. What she said. Jake sighed. She panicked. She left. She didn't know what to do. She knew enough to walk away. Jake didn't reply. Was I not worth it? I asked quietly. Don't say that. Then what should I say? That she made a mistake. I shook my head. No, that wasn't a mistake. That was a choice. Jake leaned forward. You're not alone, you know. I smiled bitterly. Feels like I am. You've got me. I know, I said. But it's not the same. He nodded slowly. Yeah, I get that. Silence filled the room again. You should go out, he said. Why? Because sitting here won't fix anything. Nothing will fix anything. That's not true. Feels true. He stood up. At least go for a walk. I didn't answer. Just try, he said. Please. After he left, I stared at the wall again. A walk, I muttered. What's the point? Still, something inside me felt restless. Fine, I said. Just once. I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside. The air felt strange, like I didn't belong in it anymore. I walked without thinking. My feet carried me somewhere familiar. Campus. I stopped at the gate. Why am I here? I whispered. I shouldn't be here. But I stepped in anyway. Students walked past me, laughing, talking like nothing had changed. It changed for me, I said under my breath. I kept walking, trying to ignore the looks. Then I heard her laugh. I froze. No way, I whispered. I turned slowly. Emma. She stood near the courtyard, smiling. But she wasn't alone. A guy stood next to her, tall, confident, dressed like he had never worried about money in his life. Who is that? I asked myself. I moved closer without thinking. I heard her voice. That's actually funny, she said, laughing. The guy smiled. I try. Ryan, she said. You're impossible. Ryan. So that's him, I whispered. He leaned closer. You like impossible. She smiled again. My chest tightened. That was fast, I said quietly. I stood there, watching. Say something, I told myself. Go talk to her. But my feet wouldn't move. What would I even say? I whispered. Hey, why did you leave me and move on in days? I laughed softly. Yeah, that sounds great. I stayed where I was. Ryan said something I couldn't hear, and Emma laughed again. I clenched my fists. She never laughed like that with me, I said. That thought hurt more than anything. Maybe she did, I corrected myself. Maybe I just didn't notice. I took a step back. I don't belong here, I said. I turned around. Just leave, I told myself. But I looked back one last time. She didn't see me. Not once. Of course, I whispered. Why would she? I walked away slowly. Each step felt heavier. I thought I mattered, I said. My voice cracked. I really thought I did. I reached the gate and stopped. That's it, I said. It's over. I took a deep breath. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more expecting anyone to stay. I looked down at my hands. They were shaking. Stop, I said. Just stop. I clenched them into fists. No one is coming. The truth hit me hard. Jake couldn't fix this. Emma wouldn't come back. No one was going to save me. I'm on my own, I said. For a moment I felt empty. Then something else appeared. Not hope. Not yet. Something colder. Fine, I said. I'll do it myself. I looked back at the campus one last time. I don't need this place, I said. I don't need her. The words felt strange, but I kept repeating them. I don't need anyone. I stepped outside the gate. This is where it changes, I said. I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel ready. But I felt something new. Acceptance. I lost everything, I said. But I'm still here. I started walking again. This time, I won't wait for someone to choose me. I'll choose myself. The silence followed me. But it didn't feel the same anymore. It felt like the beginning of something. Something hard. Something real. And this time I didn't run from it. I can't pay this month, I said, standing at the door with my landlord. That's the third time you've said that, he replied. I just need a few more days. You've had days. I'm trying. Trying doesn't pay rent. I swallowed hard. Please. He shook his head. You need to leave. Tonight. Yes, tonight. I looked down. All right. Don't make this harder than it is, he added. It already is, I said quietly. I packed my bag again. Funny, I muttered. Second time in weeks. I walked out without saying goodbye. Where now? I asked myself. No answer. I found a cheap shelter that night. The man at the desk looked at me. First time. Yeah. Sign here. I did. Beds in the back. Thanks. I lay down on the thin mattress. This is it, I whispered. Someone nearby coughed. Another man snored loudly. I stared at the ceiling. How did it get this bad? No answer came. The next morning my stomach hurt. I need food, I said. I checked my pocket. A few coins. That won't last. I walked outside and looked around. Think, I told myself. I found a small store. Can I get this? I asked, placing the cheapest item I could find. That's all? The cashier asked. That's all. I paid and walked out. This is not living, I said. Days passed like that. Eat less. Think more. Sleep barely. Repeat. You look terrible, a man at the shelter said. I feel worse, I replied. You should find work. I'm trying. Try harder. I didn't respond. One evening, my stomach growled louder than usual. I need real food, I said. I walked into a small diner. The smell hit me instantly. Sit anywhere, a waitress said. Thanks. I sat in the corner. What can I get you? She asked. Just water, I said. She looked at me. You sure? Yes. She nodded and walked away. I stared at the menu anyway. I can't afford any of this, I whispered. You going to order or just read? A voice said. I looked up. An older man sat across from me. I didn't invite you, I said. You looked like you needed company. I don't. He smiled slightly. You also look like you haven't eaten. I'm fine. No, you're not. I sighed. Why do you care? Because I've seen that look before. What look? The one that says life just knocked you down. I stayed quiet. What happened? He asked. Nothing. Try again. I hesitated. Talk, he said. Why? Because holding it in won't help. I exhaled slowly. I got expelled. Why? Couldn't pay fees. He nodded. Go on. My girlfriend left me. Of course she did, he said calmly. I frowned. What's that supposed to mean? People leave when things get hard. That doesn't make it okay. No, it doesn't. I looked down. I lost my apartment too. Where are you staying? Shelter. He didn't react. I thought I had a plan, I said. I thought I was doing everything right. And now I have nothing. He leaned back. That's not true. I laughed bitterly. Feels true. You're still here. That's not enough. It's a start. I looked at him. Who are you? Name's Harris. What do you want, Mr. Harris? To help. I don't need charity. Good. I'm not offering charity. Then what? A job. I blinked. A job? Yes. Doing what? I run a repair shop. I don't know anything about that. You can learn. Why me? Because you're still trying. You don't even know me. I know enough. I hesitated. What's the catch? No catch. Nothing is that simple. It is if you let it be. I looked at the table. I don't want to fail again. You will, he said. I looked up. What? You'll fail. Everyone does. That's not comforting. But you'll get back up. I stayed silent. Or you can stay where you are, he added. I clenched my fists. I don't want this life. Then change it. I don't know how. I just told you. I took a deep breath. When do I start? Tomorrow. What time? 8. Where? He wrote something on a napkin and slid it to me. I picked it up. Don't be late, he said. I won't. He stood up. Wait, I said. Yes. Why are you doing this? He smiled. Because someone did it for me once. I nodded slowly. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. He walked away. The waitress came back. Your food, she said. I didn't order anything. He did, she replied. I looked at the plate. Eat, she said. I didn't argue. I picked up the fork. Real food, I whispered. I took a bite. Tasted better than anything I remembered. Maybe this is it, I said quietly. Maybe this is the start. For the first time in weeks, my chest felt lighter. Not fixed, not healed, but different. I looked at the napkin again. 8 o'clock, I said. I folded it carefully. I won't mess this up. I finished the meal slowly. Thank you, I said again. Even though he wasn't there, I stood up and walked out. The night felt less heavy. I still have nothing, I said. Then I shook my head. No, I corrected myself. I have a chance. I held on to that thought. I won't waste it, I said. I walked back toward the shelter. Tomorrow felt closer than before. And for the first time since everything fell apart, I wasn't just surviving. I was ready to try again. You're late, Mr. Harris said when I walked in. I checked the clock. 2 minutes. 2 minutes matters. It won't happen again. Good, he said. Grab that toolbox. I picked it up. What am I fixing? Nothing yet. Watch first. I nodded. All right. He pointed at a broken radio. What do you see? It's not working, I said. He raised an eyebrow. Very helpful. I don't know yet. Then learn. I leaned closer. Where do I start? Start by asking better questions. I frowned. What should I ask? What could be wrong? Wiring. Good. What else? Power. Better. He handed me a screwdriver. Open it. Now. Now. I got to work. My hands felt unsure. Relax, he said. It won't bite. I don't want to mess it up. You will. I paused. That's not reassuring. It's honest. I kept going. Like this. Careful. Don't force it. I'm not. You are. I slowed down. Okay. Good. I opened the radio. Now what? Look. I am looking. Look closer. I sighed. There's a loose wire. Finally. So I fix it? You think. I picked up the wire. Like this. Do it properly. I adjusted it carefully. Now test it, he said. I pressed the button. Static. Then sound. It works, I said. It does. I smiled slightly. I fixed it. You followed instructions. Still counts. He nodded. It does. I wiped my hands. What's next? Another one. Already? You want to learn or not? I do. Then keep going. Hours passed like that. Fix. Fail. Try again. Why isn't this working? I asked. Because you're rushing. I'm not rushing. You are thinking too fast. I stopped. So what do I do? Slow down. I took a breath. Okay. Again, he said. I tried again. This time it worked. There, I said. See? Yeah. You're learning. Feels slow. It should. Why? Because fast breaks things. I nodded. Makes sense. Days turned into weeks. You're improving, he said one evening. Barely. Don't argue. I'm not. I just know I'm not good yet. That's why you'll get better. I looked at him. You really think so? I wouldn't keep you if I didn't. I stayed quiet. What? He asked. Nothing. Say it. Why do you believe in me? He shrugged. Because you show up. That's it. That's more than most. I smiled faintly. I guess. You stay late, he added. I need the hours. You don't get paid extra. I'm not doing it for money. Then why? I don't want to go back to nothing. He nodded slowly. Good reason. One night I stayed after closing. You're still here? He asked. I want to finish this. It can wait. I can't. Why not? Because if I stop, I'll think. Think about what? Everything I lost. He stepped closer. You think working will fix that? No, I said. But it helps me forget. He crossed his arms. That won't last. I know. Then what will? I looked at my hands. Building something. Better, he said. I picked up the tool again. I don't want to be that person anymore. What person? The one who got left behind. You're not. Not yet. You're already different. I shook my head. Not enough. He watched me for a moment. Listen, he said. I looked up. You're not broken, he said. I stayed still. You're just being tested. The words hit me. Tested. I repeated. Yes. For what? To see if you quit. I looked away. I almost did. But you didn't. I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice. I thought about that. So what happens if I pass? I asked. He smiled slightly. You'll see. I nodded slowly. I won't quit. I know. That night, I walked back with a different feeling. Not happiness. Not yet. But something stronger. I'm still here, I said to myself. I started saving money. Not much, I muttered. But it's something. I counted every dollar. Careful, I said. Don't waste it. I also started studying again. You really reading after work? Mr. Harris asked one day. Yeah. Why? I don't want to stay behind. You won't. I still need to try. What are you studying? Everything I missed. That's a lot. I've got time. He nodded. Good. Every night I sat with my notes. Focus. I told myself. You can do this. Some nights were harder. I'm tired, I said. Keep going. No one is watching, I whispered. Doesn't matter. I kept going. You said you wouldn't quit, I reminded myself. I won't. Weeks passed. Then months. You've changed, Jake said when he visited. Yeah. You're quieter. I'm focused. You don't smile much. I will later. He looked at me. You sure? I have to be. I returned to work the next day. You look serious, Mr. Harris said. I am. Good. I picked up another job. Let's do this, I said. I worked harder than before. I won't stay like this forever, I whispered. Say it louder, Mr. Harris said. I won't stay like this forever, I repeated. Again. I won't stay like this forever. He nodded. Now prove it. I looked at the work in front of me. I will, I said. And this time I believed it. Hey, is that you? I froze when I heard her voice. I turned slowly. Emma. She stood there, looking at me like she wasn't sure if I was real. Wow, it really is you. Yeah, I said. It's me. You look different. So do you. She hesitated. Can we talk? I looked away for a second. About what? Just, please. I took a breath. All right. We walked to a quiet spot nearby. This feels weird, she said. It is weird. She nodded. I didn't expect to see you again. Neither did I. She looked down at her hands. How have you been? I've been working. That's good. Yeah. Silence sat between us. I heard what happened, she said. You were there, I replied. She winced. I mean after. There's not much to hear. I still felt bad. I looked at her. Did you? Yes. Didn't feel like it. I needed time. You left. I didn't know what to do. You could have stayed. She looked up at me. I was overwhelmed. So was I. I know. No, you don't, I said quietly. She stayed silent. I needed you, I continued. That night, I had nothing. I remember. Then why did you walk away? I was scared. Of what? Everything, she said. Your situation. My future. I panicked. I shook my head. So you chose the easy way. I didn't think it would hurt this much. It did. I know that now. I crossed my arms. So why are you here? She hesitated again. Because I messed up. I didn't respond. Things didn't work out, she said softly. With Ryan. She nodded. Yeah. What happened? He's not who I thought he was. I let out a small laugh. Funny how that works. He changed. Or maybe you just saw him clearly. She looked down again. Maybe. And now? I asked. Now I realize what I lost. I stayed quiet. I made a mistake, she said. A big one. Her voice shook slightly. For a moment I felt something. Not anger. Something softer. But then I remembered everything. I needed you, I said. And you weren't there. She looked up, eyes wet. I know. I was alone. I'm sorry. I had no place to go. I didn't think it was that bad. That's the problem, I said. You didn't think. She wiped her eyes. I regret it every day. That doesn't change anything. I know. Then why say it? Because I want you to know. I already do. I mean it, she said. I really do. I looked at her carefully. She looked different. Not just outside. Inside. You've changed, she said. I had to. You're stronger. I didn't have a choice. She nodded slowly. I wish I stayed. I didn't reply. I think about that night a lot, she continued. What if I just said, I'm here? But you didn't. I know. And now it's too late. She flinched slightly. Is it? I paused. For a second, my mind went back. To the good moments. To her smile. To everything we had. But then I remembered the silence. The empty nights. The feeling of being nothing. Yes, I said. It is. She took a step closer. Please don't say that. Why not? Because I still care about you. I exhaled slowly. That doesn't fix what happened. I'm not asking you to forget. Then what are you asking? For another chance. I looked at her. Another chance? I repeated. Yes. I shook my head slightly. You left when things got hard. I won't do it again. How do I know that? You don't. Exactly. She swallowed. I can prove it. How? Just give me time. I stayed silent. I miss you, she said. I closed my eyes for a moment. Part of me wanted to believe her, but another part stopped me. I missed you too, I admitted. Her eyes lit up slightly. But that doesn't mean I trust you, I added. Her expression fell. I understand, she whispered. I had to rebuild everything, I said, piece by piece. I see that. And I did it alone. She nodded. I should have been there. You should have. I'm sorry. I looked at her one more time. I believe you're sorry, I said. Then? But that doesn't mean I can go back. Her eyes filled with tears. I don't deserve that chance, she said. No, I replied gently. You don't. She looked down. I hope you find what you're looking for, I said. I already did, she whispered. I shook my head. No, you found it before. You just let it go. She didn't respond. I took a step back. Take care of yourself, Emma, I said. Will I see you again? She asked. I paused. Maybe, I said, but not like before. She nodded slowly. I turned around. Wait, she said softly. I stopped but didn't turn. I really am sorry, she said. I closed my eyes briefly. I know, I replied. Then I walked away. This time I didn't look back. And for the first time I realized something. I wasn't the one chasing anymore. I was the one choosing. Morning, I said as I unlocked the shop. Already here? Mr. Harris asked. Had to check the orders, I replied. Good. Big day today. I raised an eyebrow. Big how? A client wants multiple repairs at once. It's more than usual. I nodded. I can handle it. You sure? He asked. I've been practicing. He smiled slightly. I know. Just checking. Hours passed. Careful with that soldering, he said. I know, I muttered. Not like last week, he added. I'm learning. He nodded. Good. A knock on the door interrupted us. I opened it. A woman stood there, clipboard in hand. Hi, I'm Sarah, she said. I'm the business consultant you requested. I blinked. You're early. Better early than late, she replied with a smile. Mr. Harris introduced us. This is the person who's going to help us organize things properly. Sarah looked at me. And you are? I handle repairs, I said. That's right, she said, looking impressed. I've read about your growth here. Quite a story. Thanks, I said cautiously. I like honesty, she added. No pretending. That's rare. I felt a small smile. Thanks. Let's start by reviewing your workflow, she said. I followed her around. We usually start with orders, then check inventory, then repair, I explained. Good, she said, jotting notes. But inventory should be updated in real time. That will save mistakes. I see, I said. Makes sense. She smiled. You're quick to understand. That's rare too. I felt respected, not pitted. Most people would just do repairs and hope for the best, she said. You're different. I nodded quietly. Tell me, she said. How did you get here? I swallowed. Started with nothing. Literally nothing. Really? She asked, eyes widening. Yes. Shelters, no money, barely eating. Now, I gestured around the shop. Here we are. That's incredible, she said softly. You've built yourself from nothing. That's rare. I shrugged. Had to try. And you didn't give up, she added. No, I said simply. She smiled, and for a moment, I forgot all my worries. You've got potential, she said. Not just repairs, but management too. You can take this business far. I swallowed. Thanks, Sarah. You deserve it, she said firmly. We spent hours reorganizing the shop. Label these shelves differently, she said. I can do that, I replied. Good, she said. Also, the inventory spreadsheet should be updated daily. I can handle that too. You're quick, she said again. I like it. Later, she looked at me seriously. I want to make something clear. I'm not here to coddle you. You're not broken. I treat you like a professional. Because you are one. I blinked. Thank you. Most people would see a repair kid and feel sorry, she said. I don't. You earned respect. I nodded slowly. I appreciate that. The next weeks flew by. Orders are increasing, Mr. Harris said one morning. And profits too, I added. Sarah walked in. Everything is on track. Inventory updated, workflow optimized. You're doing well. Feels good, I admitted. You've come a long way, she said softly. I know, I said, looking around the busy shop. Feels different. She smiled. It should. This is your success. Meanwhile, rumors started reaching me. Did you hear about Ryan? Jake asked one day. What about him? I replied. He's struggling. Lost a lot of money. His business failing. I frowned slightly. Really? Yeah, Jake said. People are talking. I leaned back. Funny how life works. He said. Karma. I didn't answer. A few days later, I ran into Ryan's name online. Bankrupt, I muttered. I remembered Emma's face when she said she was with him. She left me for him, I whispered. And now this, I said quietly. I felt a small, calm satisfaction. Not happiness. Not gloating. Just balance. Don't let it distract you, Sarah said as we reviewed accounts. I won't, I said. I just want to see you succeed, she added. I know, I said, and for the first time in a long time I felt like I was in control. Mr. Harris, I said, looking around the busy shop. We did it. He smiled. We're just getting started. I'm ready, I said. You should be proud, Sarah added. I am, I said quietly. And now, Mr. Harris said, we keep building. Yes, I said firmly. No more looking back, Sarah added. No, I said. Only forward. The day ended. I looked at the shop one last time. I did this, I whispered. From nothing, Sarah added. Yes, I said. From nothing. And I knew, finally, that nothing could stop me now. The invitation felt strange in my hands. College reunion, I muttered. You going? Jake asked. I think I should, I said. He raised an eyebrow. After what happened? Exactly because of what happened, I replied. The day came. I parked outside the gates. It looked the same. Familiar. I took a deep breath. Here goes nothing, I whispered. Walking through, I noticed faces staring. Whispers followed. I kept my head high. I've changed, I told myself. Isn't that him? Someone whispered. I ignored it, focused on the building. The auditorium smelled the same. Registration over here, a student said. I smiled politely. Thank you. I signed in. Then I saw him, Mr. Collins. His eyes widened slightly. Recognition hit. You, he said slowly. Yes, I replied calmly. You've done well, he admitted. I tilted my head. I had to. His expression faltered. I didn't expect. I know, I said. You didn't see potential in me back then. He looked down. Circumstances. Circumstances. I echoed. They don't define us. He nodded slowly. I suppose not. Exactly, I said. I walked past him, feeling a calm I never had before. Students were gathered for speeches. Mr. Ahmed, someone called. I turned. Yes. Can you share your story? I nodded. Of course. On stage, I felt the eyes of everyone on me. I smiled softly. I was expelled here years ago, I began. Gasps filled the room. I had nothing. No support, no guidance. And yet, I survived. Heads nodded. I built a business from the ground up. I worked hard, learned everything I could, and refused to give up. I glanced at Mr. Collins. His lips pressed together. You see, I continued, failure is not the end. It's a beginning if you choose to make it so. Applause filled the room. I smiled humbly. I am living proof. Later, during the reception, Mr. Collins approached me. You've done something remarkable, he said quietly. Thank you, I replied. I underestimated you, he admitted. Better late than never, I said lightly. He sighed. I wish I had believed sooner. I understand, I said. People make mistakes. He nodded. Yes, but you proved me wrong. I did, I said calmly, and I won't apologize for it. He looked down. I'm proud, in a way. Thank you, I said sincerely. A few students approached. How did you do it? They asked eagerly. I smiled. Patience, hard work, and refusing to quit. Even when everything seemed lost? One asked. Yes, I said. Especially then. Sarah had joined me at the event. She whispered, Look at you. I smiled softly. Feels good. More than good, she said. Exactly, I whispered back. I walked outside during a break. The sun was setting. I looked at the campus, the same place that had tried to break me. But I wasn't broken anymore. A voice called, Ahmed. I turned. A few alumni wanted advice. I nodded. Of course. I spoke to them, sharing lessons, laughing a little, answering questions. I felt alive, powerful, free. No fear, no shame, only control, only choice. Mr. Collins joined me again. You've changed more than I expected, he said. I've grown, I replied. You're confident, he noted. I had to be, I said simply. He nodded. I see that now. I smiled slightly. Yes, you see it now. He exhaled. I failed you once. I learned anyway, I said. And now? He asked. Now I decide what matters, I said firmly. He looked at me quietly, perhaps realizing the truth of it. You've truly risen, he said softly. I've survived, I replied. And more than that? He asked. I've learned who I am, I said. We stood in silence for a moment. Then I turned back toward the event. Students were listening, smiling, inspired. I walked past Mr. Collins, past the whispers, past the judgment. For the first time, I wasn't the one being measured. I was the measure, and it felt right. I looked at Sarah. She nodded. I smiled. We've come a long way. Yes, she whispered. I inhaled deeply. And this is only the beginning. The sun dipped lower. Shadows stretched. I was no longer the boy who had been cast aside. I was the man who had chosen his own path. And no one could take that away. I got a message one morning. It was from Emma. Can we meet? I stared at my phone. My thumb hovered. After a long pause, I replied, Fine. Where? A cafe on Main Street, she said. I arrived first. Sat down, hands folded. Heart steady. She walked in. Her hair was messy. Eyes tired. Face pale. Hi, she whispered. Emma, I said quietly. She sat across from me. I didn't know who else to turn to. I nodded. Go on. I lost everything, she said. Ryan left me. I didn't see it coming. And now? I asked. Now I'm struggling, she admitted. I stayed silent. I know I hurt you, she said, voice trembling. I left when you needed me most. You did, I said simply. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I didn't understand your pain back then. I know, I said. I know now. I'm sorry, she said, words breaking. I looked at her, not with anger, not with longing, but with clarity. I forgave you a long time ago, I said slowly. She blinked. Forgave me? Yes, I said. I had to. For myself. But, can we? She whispered. I shook my head gently. No, that chapter is closed. She swallowed. I deserved that, she admitted. You did, I said. And so did I deserve moving on. She nodded, tears still streaming. I see that now. I hope you learn from it, I said. I will, she whispered. Silence fell between us. You're stronger than I ever imagined, she said softly. I had to be, I said quietly. No one else was coming to save me. She lowered her gaze. I should have stayed. You didn't, I said. And now it's too late. She bit her lip, trying not to cry. I know. I hope you find your way, I said. But it won't be with me. I understand, she whispered. We sat a few more moments, letting the silence speak. Then I stood. I have to go. She looked up, eyes wide. Wait. I shook my head. No, this is goodbye. Her lips quivered. Goodbye, she said softly. I walked out of the cafe. The sunlight hit my face. Warm, clear. I inhaled deeply. For the first time in years, I felt light. No anger, no regret, just peace. I had forgiven. I had grown. I had survived. And that was enough. I walked down the street, chest steady, mind clear. The past was behind me. The silence she left once hurt me deeply, but now it was just quiet. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I was free. I was whole. And I knew, finally, that my life belonged to me. No one else could touch it. Not Emma. Not Ryan. Not anyone. I had chosen my own path. And walking away felt like closing a chapter one had carried for far too long. I smiled faintly. It was over. I was ready. I opened the door to my new office. The sunlight spilled across the polished floor. I breathed in slowly. This is it, I whispered to myself. Sarah stood beside me, her eyes scanning the space. You did it, she said, smiling. I shook my head softly. No, I survived it. She tilted her head. Survived? Yes, I said quietly. Everything that tried to break me, everything I lost, I survived. She nodded slowly. And now, I paused, looking around the office. Windows wide open, the city stretched below. I'm free. Sarah smiled warmly. You earned this. I didn't earn it, I said. I earned nothing. I worked, I learned, I didn't quit. Surviving isn't about earning. It's about not giving up. She laughed softly. Philosophical today, huh? I chuckled faintly. Maybe. Look at you, she said. The boy who had nothing, now standing here. Not a boy, I said firmly. A man who refused to be broken. She nodded. And you're at peace? Yes, I said. For the first time, I'm not chasing anyone, anything, or proving myself to anyone. She placed a hand on my shoulder. Good. You deserve it. I let myself smile fully. Thank you, Sarah, for believing when no one else did. You did all the work, she said. I just guided a little. I couldn't have done it alone, I admitted. A quiet settled in the room. I looked out the window again. I remembered sleeping in shelters, starving, feeling invisible. And now this is surreal, I whispered. It's real, Sarah said softly. Yes, I said, nodding. I made it real. I walked to the desk, ran my hands across the smooth surface. Feels different, I said. Because it is, she replied. You made it yours. I smiled faintly. I did, and I will keep making it mine. She watched me for a moment. You're calm, really calm. I had to learn to be, I said. Calm comes from surviving everything that tries to shake you. Sarah nodded. You've truly grown. I had to, I said simply. She smiled. And now, I said, turning fully to face her. I live my life on my terms. No regrets. No chasing anyone. No fear. That sounds amazing, she said softly. It is, I said. I finally know who I am and what matters. I looked around my office again, letting the light fill me. I was not hungry for approval. I was not seeking revenge. I was not trying to prove myself anymore. I was simply me. Ready? Sarah asked. I nodded firmly. I am. For the first time in years, I felt whole. I survived, I whispered again. And now, I said, lifting my head, I begin the rest of my life. I walked toward the window, feeling the city pulse below. No past could touch me. No one could define me. I am free, I said softly. And in that moment, I finally believed it. The chapter of suffering was over. The new one, mine entirely, had begun. I smiled fully, letting the peace settle in. This was my life, and I would never let it slip away.